Grand Rising to you all. Well, it's been a while. I didn't felt like sharing the past months, and well, I do now and then just have some fun with words. And when the whole CERN stuff was going on, I just feel the need to just explain what CERN is in the essence, and you can read about it on the community page and have some fun with that. And but that's it. Otherwise, I'm just keeping it very simple for myself and small. And I'm just working in the garden and enjoying all my tomato plants and cucumber plants and flowers and yeah, and my dogs. I've got a new dog. Yeah, he is 2.5 years old, Elvie, and he came from a very sad situation. So we had a very rough start in this game. But he's here now for a month or so, I guess, maybe 6 weeks. And he's just full in his trust and he's happy. And oh, and I have a female dog and he is a male dog. And they are so in love with each other and being playful with each other all day long. So it brings so much joy. Yeah. And well, and of course, I like to be creative, so I'm working on a element deck that purely focus on the elements and the organs and the emotions. So it's like a deck that I'm creating to assist the ones who are working with the element landscape to demagnetize programs and locate programs in the organs. To get familiar with the emotions, that are connected to it in a fun way. Yeah. So that's on the way. I have the cards ready, but I'm still working on the messages. Yeah. But the reason why I decided to share today is that yesterday, I don't know, 25th, I guess, April 25th, yesterday. Um, there was this collective high pitch in the background. Um, the way I experience it, when they launch, when they introduce a new code, a new frequency, and it is collectively, it's for me like a high pitch in the background, and the feeling I get is like um, well, walking through mud, through how you call that? Well, watery sand. You're barely coming. You can barely move. You're walking through, and it's like from above they are pressing on you, and you have in the back that high pitch, and just want to try. It wants to get into your field, and so that's when I know, okay, they are introducing something new, a new code, a new frequency. And if it's personal, if they want to try reactivate, remagnetize, or just magnetize something within you, it's usually a high pitch in the air. Yeah. So that's how I experience it. But getting back to the collective, high pitch, new introduced frequency code that started yesterday here in the Netherlands, and it's still present, but it's getting lighter now, but it's still present, but there it's almost gone. So it's like the activation of this new code is almost done. And well, I have my programs on demagnetized, and I'm just in my wonderful nothingness. Don't, don't. And from there, I just observe, and I don't become part of it anymore. So it doesn't affect me. I just feel it, and it was working on the fear, of course, and also on the anger. And I have, since a few weeks, I decided to do body to body work again, do an element journey with someone. And she needed it very badly. She was so not in her body, so she needed to be anchored into her body. And she is still in the process of, going through all those layers of all those traumas, those programs. And so she's still very much into the shadow work. And you just, you experience everything, more intensely, of course. And when there's a disbalance, they can, well, they never can enter fully because you have to agree to it. We have to give our consent. But they can, when there's a disbalance, they can just, how you call it in English, I don't know. But, um, they can get to the mind, definitely. And through the mind, they can make you, activate it yourself. Yeah. So get in a negative spiral. You just make sure that whatever you're thinking on, or whatever fear is there, or whatever anger is there, they just make it worse and make sure you get into the spiral downwards, the negative spiral. So that they can do. So if you're in the midst of shadow work, be aware of that. And what they just activated, and I believe it's globally, or maybe just the Netherlands, I'm not sure, but I feel it's globally. I asked when I went to bed last night. I normally don't do that anymore. I don't focus on anything anymore. And I'm just in the nothingness where there's nothing, there's only peace, no images. But I decided, because the woman I'm working with now, she reflected back to me yesterday that in the morning it was okay. And then, when the high pitch came to its, well, highest point, let me say it like that, she had the feeling something wanted to take her over. And she became afraid of her own energy in a way. So I, talked to her, you're not alone in this. It's something that is going on globally, and it's working on fear, it's working on anger, and, and use the anger in a good way. So just go stand strong, and just, they need your consent. So you don't give your consent, never, to that AI new web they are activating with all their new frequency codes. You just say no, and you go stand very strong and use that anger and just tell them, get the fuck out of here. You're nothing. Just get the fuck out of here now. And if you don't go, I pull you into the nothing, and then you are nothing. And, so use that anger in that way. I'll just transform you to nothing, and then it's game over. And I on the count of three, I count to three, 1, 2, 3, and then you know. So use that anger in a positive way. And so that gave her peace, and she started doing that. And You know, our animals, the dogs and the cats, they see what is going on in your field, you know. And her cat was also, she has a cat, her cat was also responding to, you know, the new coach. So I told her, when you're doing that, you know, to see if you cannot feel, or you're not totally sure that it has worked, you know, that you have truly just, you know, um, made it disappear. If you don't feel it, if you don't hear it, if you don't see it, watch your cat. You know, your animal will show you. And so that worked for her. And that is why I decided to share it, because it can assist you, you know, with this new web they are putting in place now. Yeah. Oh, getting back to when I went to bed last night, I was lying in my bed and I could see the codes. And the way I see it, it's like, you know, before I always saw it as images, or I saw it as beings, you know. And the last time I decided to tune in for a moment, you know, just place my focus there from an observer state, I saw the clowns, you know. Okay, so I decided last night, let's just see what new code this is, you know. And what I see, because what I observe in my normal nothingness state, detached, fully detached, I see just movement, you know, light movement going very fast. And as soon as I place my focus, I see the essence of it, and that they are code. And when I go into the code, I see there's nothing. So that is why I always say it's nothing. Everything you read, everything, all the research you do, truly everything, everything is just in essence nothing. It's nothing. It's just, it's truly nothing. It can only exist and become a reality if the source connected ones decide to give their energy to it, you know, to pulsate outwardly by doing research, you know, by sharing about that. And so it becomes a belief for others, you know. Yeah. And they're using the alternative media, because the only way they can reach the source connected ones is through the alternative media. So the alternative media, it's bombarded with so much research and beliefs and about everything, hoping that we create it by believing it and by pulsating towards that, and get stuck in research. You know, it's just a fairy tale. It's just a fairy tale. But, you know, that is because I see it for what it is, you know. It's nothing. And once you get there, you know, everything's demagnetized. It's just, it's so, it's truly, it's such a simple game in a way. And you just, you just play with it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's that. So you're in a fairy tale. Yeah, it's just a dream. It's just a dream. Yeah. Where was I? Oh, yeah. The reason I wanted to share today was the new frequency code of this web they are creating. I was in my bed and I saw, you know, what I always see when code enters or wants to come in or just, you know, tries to fuck with me. I saw a code, but it was code, but a different code. But it was a code. And So I decided, like I did a few months back, what form do you wanna, if you wanna take on form, what is your form? And they took on form like clowns. And this time around, last night, I did the same thing. Okay, if you want to take on form, what form you want to take on? And it became this huge, huge spider. It was a very big spider. So you have to imagine, to me, everything is nothing. So it's just an illusion spider. And it takes on form, and I see it above me. It's a very big one. And yeah. And then I just, well, you're nothing. I've seen it. And then poof, and then it's gone and it goes back to code. But it tells me that um, because um, the woman I'm working with now, she reflected back to me yesterday that she had the feeling that something was coming in and wanted to take her over. So I guess what they launched yesterday was the spider program, a spider coding, which sounds logical because it's a new web they are creating, you know, and well, they at least they try to create that, as long as source connected ones keep um, pulsating their source original codes and lie towards that. If they stop doing that, stop doing the research, stop talking about it, etc., it all ends. But we are so used to stories and yeah, and the intellect that a lot of us keep it, you know, keep it going. So, well, have fun with it. I'm just gonna observe it and see what happens, how the scenario will play out. But it is, I'm 100% sure that the ones who have had um, the many jabs and are not conscious at all, so they are, easy to program. I guess they all received the spider yesterday and hooked up to a new coding program that has to do with fear and with anger. And so that will accelerate, I guess. And yeah, and the ones who are still in the shadow work, just be aware of that. Be aware of that. Yeah, be aware of that. And use it, for yourself, because you are that magical source connected spark, and always, 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 always stronger. You are in this body, which is your portal in this game, uh, but because it has the programs in it, so we have to demagnetize, but it's also part of your consciousness here in this game, so you can give your body, how you call it, you can give your body instructions. Yeah, so the woman I'm working with now, who's very much into the shadow work, I shared with her this morning um, that because she doesn't know what is illusion and she doesn't know what is, source truth that is part of her. So I told her about that way, so maybe it can assist you on your path. I told her about the way I used, well, I don't know. I started using that like, 8 years ago, something like that. For myself, I just started um, giving my body instructions that when something was a matrix, I would feel it in the center of my lower tummy, and I would feel it like like a knife, like 3 times a knife gets into my tummy. Very short, but effectively. And when something was source part of me, it would feel like a wave of tingling in my heart. And intuitively, I already chose for not the chakras, because you can also say, I want to feel it like that in that chakra, or I want to feel it. I didn't choose for that intuitively. Yay, very good of me, because I know now that the chakras are part of the matrix system, manipulation system. So, so, and she was pulling cards, and it was all about illusion and truth. So she was like, "Yeah, that is exactly what I need to do." And so I'm sharing it with you. Who knows? Maybe that is something that works for you too. So you can, when you go about your day, your body just, assists you in, you know, okay, this is matrix, this is source, this is matrix, this is source. And then eventually you know the difference in the frequency, because the one is inverted and the other is real. And well, it's like the one is unnatural and the other is natural. And it's slightly different, but it's copied. They copy everything from us, and it's a very small, subtle um, frequency difference, but you can learn it in that way. So, there's a lot going on, so maybe it helps. Yeah. Well, I guess that's all for now. Yeah. Hmm. No, nothing more. Well, I was because I have not much to share. Only sometimes, and I'm having the conversations, with the ones here in the Netherlands, but also with friends around the world, and well, maybe it's nice to have a conversation, on Skype, and just talk about things that has happened for you or questions you have, and we just have a fun conversation. And if you feel like um, doing that with me, having a conversation with me, that I will share, of course, on YouTube, because it can assist others in these crazy times. Let me know, and just give me an idea about what you want to talk about. You know, I don't want to talk about the necks and and all those stories that are out there. No, I don't. It's all their stories, their fairy tales, and I don't want to give my energy to that. I just want to talk about your source journey. Yeah, and of course, there can be stories that are connected to programs within yourself. And that is what you see, by the way, also. If you are following someone and they are sharing about a certain time or a certain story or mythology or something that holds their interest in this moment, and they're researching and talking about it, what you see is the layer they are working through, the program they are demagnetizing. That is what you see. And if you resonate with it, it's just a program within you that has that same context. That's it. It's nothing more. It's just a story. It's just a manipulated story that is part of a program. And someone is working through those layers and doing all the research about it, and it's sharing it, because they're all in awe about it, or the things they discover within this fairy tale game. And yeah, that's it. It's nothing more. It's nothing more. That is what it is. So I've also shared a lot, back in the days, about the blue sun and and the moon path I was making, and I haven't even shared about all my galactic adventures and the beings and the nags and the reptilians and the shapeshifters. Well, I shared a little bit about it, but not the whole story. There's so much to share, but they're just fairy tales that are part of the programs I received when I started this fairy tale. And so don't attach to any story because they're fairy tales. Yeah. Detach, 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 detach. Yeah. Well, I guess that's all I wanted to share. So let me know, in the comments or through my website. There's a contact form. You can let me know through my website. Um, you know, the essence of what you feel you want to talk about in your present journey back to the nothingness. And then I will feel into it and see if it's the right connection in this now moment. And I will make a choice and connect to you. And we make an appointment and we have a conversation. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. I love to meet some of you out there. And yeah, but in English, because most of the ones who are watching my videos and have been following my website, I can see on the back of my website, the countries, and the visitors and etc. And it's mostly the USA, America and Ireland. Hi, Ireland. And yeah, so English. Yeah, we have to talk in English. Yeah. Well, let me know. Let me know if that's something you would like to do. Have a conversation about the source journey. Anything else? No. Much love from me to you. Bye for now.